Alright, welcome back everyone. This is my 5th week of doing these weekly recaps. I'm Adrian Sanders again for Sanders Games. So just like the last week where I was mostly showing some of the games that Chris DeLeon has in his book, this is the last one I worked on. This is called Space Battle. Now this of course is just a beginning starter place for the exercises that are to come in the book that I haven't gotten to yet. But there are parts of this game that I wanted to use for the next game that I have. So as you can see here, this is a drifting spaceship, or a capital A. It can wrap around the screen, so when it goes off one edge it appears off the other edge. It has one bullet to shoot at a time. And this bullet actually has a timer saying after a certain period of frames to delete itself, and it's going to start over on the ship. There's also a UFO here that moves randomly. It also has a timer that tells it to change direction, and it doesn't shoot at me yet, which is fine. I can shoot it and then it'll be given another random location. All it has is for defense is if I run into it, I lose. So or I can miss, or you can just take my word for it. But if I run into the ship, it will start me back over from the beginning, and for the player, the beginning is the middle of the screen, like that. And there you have it. So I have a shot. The UFO can't shoot at me yet, and of course this is going to be built upon with more UFOs, more bullets for the user to use, and a whole bunch of fancy stuff like a menu screen. But I'm not there yet. I just wanted to get through this example. Did complete all the completed examples that I've gotten through in the book, and it gives me enough to work on part 2. So this is my only other game for this week, and I only say that because this is actually a bigger game than my little examples I've been working on. So this is actually Paratrooper. If you guys didn't play the old DOS version back in the day, it kind of looks like this. A little bit more DOSy and a lot more complete than this is. This isn't done. So what I've done is taken elements of what I've done before. So I have this little turret at the bottom of the screen. All it is actually an image. The gun part's an image, but these circles are just for decoration right now. It's going to be more detailed, but the whole point is I'm using the right and left arrow keys to move the turret. I have a bullet. I actually have a maximum of 5 bullets on the screen at a time. It's just kind of hard to see because they go pretty quick. Another feature I've put in is that I've made for, well, aside from the paratroopers, you see the ships here going out from one side to the other. So each ship object is given a random, I guess a flip of the coin, saying whether or not it's going to come from one side or the other. It's getting out of control. Whether or not it's going to come from one side to the other. And it's put in an array of ships, and as it passes by, and then when it leaves the screen, it's taken out of the array. And so initially I was having it to where every ship had a paratrooper. That got a little bit too out of control, so now each ship is randomly, once again, given a flip of a coin, so to speak, of whether or not it has a paratrooper, and that just limits the amount of paratroopers that are on the screen, so it's not as hectic for the player, and it still gives a pretty even gameplay. Now each paratrooper is an object in itself, and it spawned, well, each ship, plane, whatever, there are wings from what I've used before from Star Fox, but each plane has a paratrooper, or the ones that have paratroopers have the paratrooper object, and then at a random time interval of the plane passing the screen, it'll release its paratrooper. And if you can see here, the paratrooper falls pretty fast, and then after a certain period of time, each one of them has the same timer. Their parachutes open up and they fall down the screen. I haven't figured out how to make it to where if you shoot a parachute, they fall faster. Having trouble with the collision detection. Right now the parachutes are just an extra image on top of each paratrooper. It's not like it's an object, so this is not done, I hope you know, and I would have liked to had more done, but I've just reached a sticking point here, and I knew the this weekly recap was coming up, so I took out some parts that weren't quite working, and I just wanted to show a more clean example. So that's all I have for this week. Oh, also you can destroy each ship. That's all I have for this week. Again, not as many games, just 2, but I'm taking on this bigger project. So thank you, Chris, for your help, and he's really pushing me to get bigger things done. So they're not going to be small experimental things, but hopefully they'll be a little bit more polished and I get to show them off. So thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.